A warm
Sorry, good
welcome.
morning. Can
Now
you hear?
the place that
I know what just now I put through the airport. Brother Anton, if brother wish to test the audio and visual Sister
Brother
Peggy.
Anton.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Juan.
Yeah, this is election. I'm at my in-laws' place. Yesterday came back already. Karen. Okay, we let brother test the audio and visual.
okay.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good
How's
morning.
my audio coming along?
Okay, great.
But
Good. The visual is better, like I can see brother. Behind, is it the Philippine Jingsi Hall, is it?
No, it's our Tsuchi Great Love Eye Center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's in Zamboanga, southern
Zamboanga.
Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Brother Anton, your PowerPoint. Do you want to try?
Yeah, okay.
wow.
Okay.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Brother Anton, do you have any video to share later?
Come again. You're choppy.
Do you have any video to share later? Would you like to share? I mean, to test
No, no video. Just
video.
the PowerPoint. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So let me do the opening first. Then after that, we'll hand it to Brother Anton. All right. Thank you. Yuan. Warm welcome to our Bookmasters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Recently, disasters have happened so randomly one after another due to the great imbalance of four elements. Now, with the COVID-19 pandemic around the world, Master has this concern and earnestly urge everyone to repent and adopt vegetarian meals to protect life and cultivate our great love to living beings and for the goodness of society and the world. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahara land be free from disaster and peace prevail in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer from all has filled the world with hope. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas know my prayer. All united with one heart, that just end our hate with love. May there be no suffering year after
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Now let us pray together for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. And before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our masters to lead us in the praying homage to people join. Let us pay our respect for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making two sincere bows. Please rise, thumbs together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abbot Masters who could join us today. Today we have sharing from Brother Anton from Philippines, who will be sharing bringing love to conflict-ridden areas, and followed by Dharma Master Yuan, who will be sharing on impermanence, appreciate the value of life. Yeah. So now let us okay. Sister Suchi, hand over to you.
Yeah.
Cảm
Cảm ơn Sister Lily for the wonderful start. Cảm ơn, good morning, brothers and sisters. Cảm ơn for joining us today for this most, I'm sure everyone is looking forward to hear from Brother Anton. We really cảm ơn to Sister Peggy for arranging. Okay, Brother Anton is a Filipino veterinarian. Today, okay, my in-laws place today is the election. Okay, the whole brother behind me. Businessman, a public figure, and humanitarian. Brother Anton is also a frequent speaker, organizer, and community volunteer throughout the Philippines and advocates for the disadvantaged. Brother Anton is the coordinator of Tzu Chi Foundation Zamboanga Liaison Office. Now I understand why the background is this Tzu Chi at Zamboanga, okay, where he began volunteering in 1998. Wow, very early, to provide support. He networks with local, national, and international non-profits, private organizations, and committed volunteers. Wow, we are truly very blessed and honored. We look forward to Brother Anton sharing on this bringing love to conflict-ridden areas. Cảm ơn. Over to you, Brother Anton. Cảm ơn.
Brother Anton, volume, unmute yourself. Brother Anton, you have to unmute.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay,
Mm.
good morning, everyone. I'm Brother Anton Lim. I'm the liaison officer for Tsuchi Zamboanga. Such a pleasure to be able to share um, our small office to the rest of the world. First off, I would like to apologize for the PowerPoint. This PowerPoint was used when we did a spotlight on my volunteering for Tsuchi. So you'll be seeing a lot of my face. So I would like to apologize for that. But the title of this presentation is "Bring Love to Conflict-Ridden Areas." Okay, our office is located at the southernmost part of the Philippines. It's in Zamboanga City. It's home to a mix of culture. We have Christians and Muslims. When we started in year 2000, it was not we were not in the best of location. The city was in conflict because of some religious differences. The Muslim population felt that they're not being heard and were creating trouble. So this was the background when Tuchi Manila came to us to do a medical surgical mission, first in 1998. When they came over, there were a lot of people who were not served because there were just too many of them. So we requested that they come back in 1999. And again, there were such long lines and not everyone was accommodated. So we started to negotiate again and ask if they could come back for the third time. And I remember Brother Alfredo and Brother Henry telling us, Anton, we've never been to a place twice in a row. So he said, is it about time that you set up your own office so that you can help your people every day? Seeing how the volunteers work to make the medical surgical mission was really an eye-opener. And because of what I saw, that also scared us in opening an office. So we didn't know if we have what it takes to open a liaison office in Zamboanga. But due to the persistence of Uncle Henry Yunes, the CEO of Tsuchi Philippines now, Brother Alfredo, they frequent Zamboanga until we couldn't say no. So in May 6, year 2000, we opened the Tsuchi liaison office in Zamboanga City. So when we opened the office, the first thing we did was to accompany Brother Henry and Brother Alfredo to Tsuchi, Taiwan. And at that time, I remember asking Master Cheng Yen about what to do in our place because of the conflict. And what Master said was really touched my heart, because she said, there's conflict in your area because people have not been shown love and they have not been helped. So that was her mission order. And the second thing I asked her was I'm conflicted because I'm a Catholic and I feel that it's such a difficult thing to be leading a Buddhist organization when I'm a Catholic. But what Master said really made me love her more, because what she said was, Anton, I'm not after your religion. All I want you is to spread love, and do not worry, I will not convert you, but I want you to be a better Catholic. So that I felt like I was doused with ice water that time, because what she said was very um, true. Like, we all think that we are good Catholics, but in actuality, when we go out and pray and not do anything, that doesn't doesn't make us a good Catholic. So I went back to Zamboanga, now more confident. So our first order was to go out and spread love. That was a time when we were asked to do Isarenchen. So what we did when we went there was to go out to farthest end of Zamboanga City. We almost covered all barangays, and we did medical, dental missions. It was quite difficult because it was really a challenge. Every time we go out, we would bring the military with us. It's not uncommon when we go out that we have armored vehicle, tanks, armored tanks, watching the gates where we go, and soldiers with long firearms protecting us. But little by little, we're able to gain the trust and confidence of the local population, especially of our Muslim brothers and sisters. And but more importantly, we also gained confidence that it's not true that all Muslims are bad people. It's not true that they're out there to harm us, but they're just really portrayed badly in the media. So after that, as I've said, we started out our journey with Suchi Manila with medical surgical missions. So this was in 1998. But since then, we now have our own truck, and this truck, we bring this truck wherever we are. And this truck has the capability of setting up a 6-table operating room. We can convert any classrooms, any empty hospitals into a operating surgical theater.
Anton, sorry to interrupt. I think
Yeah.
you have not shared your PowerPoint just in case you're already sharing.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do this again.
只能到香港嘅呢隻係冇飛 line。原來叫做我 share 隻 PowerPoint。
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was already sharing my PowerPoint.
It's okay, brother. 感恩。
Yeah. Okay. How is it now?
Yeah, yes, we can see it.
Yeah. Okay. There. There. Okay, as you can see from the slide, this is our truck that carries the operating tables. It's a complete set. We have operating lights, cautery, anesthesia machine, and all the safety equipments. This truck, we have the capability of setting up a 6-table operating theater. We can convert any rooms, empty rooms, into a surgical facility. So this is one of those hospitals who is just an empty shell, but we can convert it into an operating theater. In the picture, you see Dr. Jo Kwa, who always, together with this team, is always ready to join our local medical team in conducting a surgical mission. So since year 2000, we have already conducted 67 surgical and medical missions. So this is one of the photos. That's our volunteer, Tata. And what is always the common comment of those who availed of our surgical mission is that they cannot imagine going to a free surgical mission and felt very well attended to. Because more than the numbers, we make sure that they will feel the love of Tzu Chi whenever they go there. So here are the kids. These are patients. Most of them needs hernia surgery. So this is amount of care. We normally have nurses, volunteer nurses, taking care of them from the time they arrive for the orientation to the time they're sent home. There's always a volunteer to assist them and take care of them. So, of course, every time they go there, we have so much fun. We try to entertain them so that it will lessen their fear. We guide them in praying. And of course, always when they go home, they always remember the volunteers. So of course, we always start very early in the morning. Normally, we have to be there ahead of the doctors. So we wake up at 4 and on the first day. And on the second day, we have to wake up even earlier and go home late at night because we want to make sure that the operating room is clean and disinfected for the next day. And we have to be there early and to prepare the patient before the doctors will come in so that when they come in, they can start operating. So this is one of our patients. As you can see, there's a lot of volunteers just to make sure everything goes well. So this is a typical scene. This was very early in the morning, but everybody is very happy. Volunteering should not be a serious matter. It can be fun. And with Tzu Chi Sambuanga, we always have managed to have fun while working. Of course, we do disaster response also. This was when Typhoon Bopha hit Davao. And when a friend from Davao called us up and asked for help, we didn't expect to see that much victims. So when we went there, we actually prepared our supplies. We already anticipated what we need. So we brought fluids with us, we brought sutures, we brought surgeons from Zamboanga, but still we were not prepared to what we saw when we went there. When we landed, immediately what was presented to us were kids who were dehydrated, adults who were dehydrated, and a lot of them were already weak. So we had to do a lot of dextrose infusion on the kids. And here it is, one of the doctors doing that. We had a hard time because of the dehydration. The veins were collapsed. So it took a while before we could find a decent vein. But we were very happy that we came just in time and we were able to save a lot of lives. As a protocol, all babies will have to be weighed before anything is given to them, any medication. So we could not find any weighing scale. So we went around and we saw a discarded rice scale, and that will have to make do for us. So there were a lot of injuries because of the flying GI sheets, and most of them were head injuries. And this girl was traumatized, and she was the first time we saw her, she was already crying because actually she lost a finger. So I jokingly, while she was crying after the surgery, I jokingly told her, instead of saying "give me 5," I told her "give me 4," and that made her laugh, and that changed. You see, everybody was laughing also when they saw her laughing. So this was a farmer who was hit badly by, I believe this was the patient with that coconut fell on the head and really split it open. So since there were a lot of casualty, since I'm a veterinarian and we only have 3 doctors, so I was in charge of prepping and keeping the wound clean before the doctors will actually do surgery. So here is one of the victim also. So if you can see, there were a lot of injuries. So we did a lot of anti-tetanus shots also, and also distributed a lot of doxycycline to prevent leptospirosis. This was in 2013 during Typhoon Haiyan, Yolanda. This was when, I think this was on the 3rd day, when Brother Henry was asked by Master to go with him to Tacloban. And Brother Henry contacted us if we could join him, so that we could be the ears and eyes of Master. So when we went there, we brought our cameras with us so that we could document all the destruction. But we were not prepared to see what we saw. That there were a lot of dead corpse littered around. And here I met someone from Zamboanga City. He was working for AFP at that time, news agency, and we were happy to see him. He was there before the typhoon, and he almost became a victim himself. So it was a good reunion for us. So this was us negotiating with the U.S. Armed Forces for a flight to Yolanda. As you know, the government gave them complete control of the only airstrip, and because of some friends were able to go to them and hope that we will be allowed to go there. And but what they told us really also put us in a quandary, because they told us, okay, Anton, there's 5 of you, and each of you weigh about 80 kilos. That's about 3 sacks of rice. So it's either we bring 15 sacks of rice that can fit hundreds, or we'll bring you. So do you have in your conscience to sacrifice those number of lives? So we thought that was unnecessary. So we told them, okay, we'll stay behind and let you transport the rice first, but please put us on the next available plane. So we were able to fly to Tacloban, I think on the 3rd day. So this was Brother Texon. He was the city admin at that time. When we went to Tacloban, he was the only one manning the whole city hall. We didn't see anyone there. And he was trying his best to accommodate everyone. He's trying his best to help everyone. And when he saw us, he just broke down. I can remember him, when we saw him from afar, he was directing a lot of people to do something. But when he saw us, he just broke down and was really happy to see us. Texon is now the son-in-law of our CEO, Brother Henry. Okay, one of the things that we set up in Zamboanga was the Tucci Great Love Physical Rehabilitation Center, and that, as a component of that, is the Jaipur Prosthesis Center. So before we started Suchi Zamboanga as an office, we saw a lot of patients already during the medical mission. So there were a lot of amputees because of diabetes, accident, and from smoking. So that sort of left an impression in us. That's why when we have the office already, the Tsuchi office, the first thing we did was to build this. And initially we just wanted to build the Jaipur prosthetic unit, but we realized later on that we could not, it's not as easy as putting a prosthesis on the patient's foot, but do have to do a lot of rehabilitation even before giving the prosthesis foot. That's why we set up the physical rehabilitation center. And this was a blessing in disguise, but because of the physical rehabilitation center, we were able to help poor patient that had stroke and kids who had cerebral palsy undergo physical rehabilitation. So from what you can see from the picture, people can get so desperate in being able to walk again and provide for their family. And if to your left, can anyone guess what that artificial leg is made of? Okay, that if you see those different colors, those are blades of electric fans. Okay, those are discarded electric fans that he cut and fashioned into prosthetic leg. The Jaipur Foot Prosthesis Center, we went to several areas, not just in Zamboanga City. We went to neighboring areas and flew to as far as Bicol in Luzon to conduct a foot camp. So on your far right, you can see a kid who was born with a missing limb. So this kid was able to walk again immediately after fitting him the prosthesis. Okay, because we're the only ones in Mindanao doing this, when people heard us that there's such an organization providing free services to disabled population, we got a lot of donations from abroad, and these are walking canes, walkers, and several prosthetic foot and even crutches from the US. And of course, we also make use of the crates in the hospital, and we turn that into crutches also. Okay, here we are in, I believe this is Vicente Soto Memorial Hospital in Cebu City. Patients were not only from Cebu, they were from as far as Osamis and Bohol. So look at the smile of the kid after being able to walk again on 2 feet. Okay, I want to show you this picture because the one who's doing the prosthetic foot was also our former patient. So when he came to us, only his, I believe his left foot was amputated, and we helped him during that time because the wife came to us because they could not, because he lost his job because of the because of Berger's disease, and his foot was slowly rotting away, and the wife came to us cryingly and begging for help because when he woke up one night, she saw a rat eating away the flesh of her husband. So that was the last straw. So she came to us against the advice of the husband, who was so ashamed to ask for help. But she went to us and begged us to help him. So we went ahead after convincing her husband. We went ahead and amputated his limb. And after 6 months, we gave him a prosthesis. what happened was after several months, the left side, the right side also started rotting away. As you know, with Buerger's disease, there's a failure of circulation in the extremities because of excessive smoking. So now he's the one who's doing all the prosthetic leg. So unfortunately, our rehab center became too small for the population of Zamboanga City. And because of COVID, it needed more space. So the hospital administration decided that it's about time that we tear down the physical rehab center so that they can build a multi-story rehab center so that we could serve the patient better. So in the meantime, while they're building it, we're very lucky to be able to receive a mobile van that is equipped with all the equipment so that we can still continue to do Jaipur Food Camp. And with this mobile van, actually, we have the ability to go anywhere and do prosthetic food camp. Instead of waiting for patient to come to us, we can now actually go to them. And this was made possible through through the collaboration of Rotary Foundation. How we met with the sponsoring club was also because of a patient. We read on the newspaper about a kid who lost the limb, and we heard about the Rotary wanting to help him. So we got in touch. We told them we could help the boy. And from that first case, the Rotary Club of Forbes Park Makati, through attorney Ed Escanio, has been helping Tsuchi Zamboanga with its prosthetic needs also. So this is the van. It is also solar powered to help it to save energy. Okay, so this is how the rehab look. And on your right side, that's a Tsuchi Great Love Eye Center, which we established in 2008. So it's been 14 years now. And the Tsuchi Great Love Eye Center is state of the art. It has 2 stories. It has a tooth operating theater that has the same quality and look as the operating theaters in Hualien, Taiwan. So this was Brother Huang when he came to visit us after the Zamboanga siege. The Zamboanga siege happened when a bunch of misguided elements came to Zamboanga and wanting to overthrow the government. Because of that, there were fighting, and 2 or 3 barangays were destroyed. And that was a lot of schools were leveled to the ground. So they need a lot of temporary classrooms. And Tsuchi was just so happy to help. And this was the same time as Typhoon Yolanda. So that's why you can see the dome looks the same as the temporary structures that were built in Yolanda. So the Zamboanga siege happened a few months before Yolanda. So let me share with you how the Tsuchi Great Love Eye Center looks like. So this is the ramp going up to the 2nd floor. Okay, that's the lobby. And the Tsuchi Great Love Eye Center is more than just an eye center. We use it for events, for Tsuchi events, and we have an office inside the eye center. So this is still the lobby, and we often convert the lobby into our recovery room. Here you can see this is a ENT outreach. at the lobby. Here you can see our volunteer nurses checking on a patient. Now, this is, I want to share this with you. When we opened our Tucci Great Life Eye Center in 2008, we did a collage of 8 years of pictures, of our outreach pictures. And we used that to make a collage of masters. So from the far, you can see it looking like this. But if you look closely, these are thousands of pictures of our activities. So you can see a lot of hydrocephalus patient here getting help. And you can see our surgical missions also. And going up the ramp, there's these are glass blocks, which we put a photo of the abbot on it. So when in the morning, when the light shines, you can see a silhouette of our abbot. So if you can see the sky, we actually, when we went to Hualien, I took out my camera and took a photo of the sky, and we put it there also. So actually, we brought a little of Hualien into the eye center. So we can say that we are still under the sky of the abbot. So here I am, I'm pointing to the glass block. Remember I mentioned to you about Zamboanga siege in 2013. The neighboring areas were leveled because of the artillery fire, but only this glass block was damaged. Okay, the roof were peppered with bullet holes, but there were no big damage in the building. But behind them, the area was completely leveled off, and there was a fire that burned all houses at the back of the eye center. So the eye center, as I mentioned, has state-of-the-art operating room. So these are our doctors operating on cataracts. Of course, everybody was caught by surprise when COVID came. And what was the first one that was affected was our hospitals. Surgeries were not done because doctors were so afraid of conducting surgery and getting infected. And there were a lot of doctors, especially anesthesiologists and surgeons, who got infected with COVID. So we did a research, and we found out there was this innovation that covered the head part of the patient, so that when the patient breathes, the doctor will not inhale it, especially the anesthesiologist who normally stays near the head of the patient. So with this acrylic box, we were able to isolate the patient. And because of this, surgeries were allowed to go on, and our doctors were safe. And they felt safe to conduct surgeries because of this. So we distributed this to all the hospitals, public and private, not just in Zamboanga City, but in neighboring areas. So this was how the acrylic box was used. As you know, during the early stage of the pandemic, there was a severe shortage of surgical masks. In fact, we could not find any surgical masks in Zamboanga City. Even if we have the money, we could not find one. There was short. Even surgical masks were not available. So what we did, we thought of making our own. So here we employed the differently abled patient of the area vocational resource center. These are either deaf, mute, or maybe amputees or people with differently able like they might be they have lost sight on one eye, but they were able to sew. That government has trained them to do it, but because of the pandemic, they lost all their jobs. So we thought of giving them this project so that they can earn. So through this, we're able to produce 30,000 triple layered surgical masks. And we distributed it immediately to the most vulnerable sector of in Zamboanga City, which are the elderly. And of course, our volunteers had to go there to explain to them why they need to wear the mask and how to properly wear the mask. And I'm very grateful that in spite of the danger, the younger volunteers went out and do this. They went to areas that are really well in need of the mask. So we also did relief. So because of the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. So we did rice distribution. And again, if you can see, we were all covered with the protective gear, but we still were able to conduct our relief operation. So at the initial stage also, because of the volume of the PPEs needed, the hospital did not have the proper storage for this. So we went to work. The temporary classrooms that we dismantled during the Zamboanga siege, we kept it in our storage. And when the opportunity came, we reused them and we turned it into a storage area for PPEs this time. So this is how it looked like. And we installed solar lights around it. So during the pandemic, the frontliners were very scared, and we really admired them because in spite of them being scared, they, out of sense of duty, they were there. So we made sure they feel appreciated. So we sent them daily snacks so that just to boost their morale and just to remind them that they are in our prayers. The doctors, because the rehab center and the eye center was closed down during the early year, the first year of the pandemic, we turned it into a dormitory for the doctors and the nurses because a lot of their families were getting sick, and we heard of stories of doctors and nurses having to sleep at the garage or set up tents in front of their houses because of fear of infecting their family. So we turned our facility into a dormitory. We made sure they're comfortable. It has a soft cushion, and we made use of the Tsuchi bed. And they were very, very appreciative. So this is the mask. It has small sizes for the kids also. So just recently, we were hit by flash flood. Typhoon Paeng inundated almost all barangays in the city. And this was the first time in Zamboanga that this happened. The damage was so widespread that the city could not be present at the same time. So we helped the city in areas that we have presence. We immediately conducted relief operation. So again, we're very thankful to the volunteers because they are victims themselves. A lot of the volunteers' houses were also flooded. Their businesses closed because of the flooding. And yet they found time to help us repack and distribute the relief goods all over the city. Here we're also because of what we saw on the first day, we noticed that there were a lot of single-use plastic cups, spoon and forks, and paper plates around the evacuation area. So we thought of giving them reusable eating utensils to reduce the waste, and also included there are hygiene kits. So on the day we distributed that, uh, we were applauded by everyone because they were saying that it seems that they heard our prayer. We heard their prayers because they've been having a hard time. Uh, People were distributing soup and they were putting it on paper plates because they don't have any eating utensils. And when we gave that to them, they were very, very happy. So we're able to assemble this immediately because of the hard work of the volunteers. So here we were distributing doxycycline because there were a lot of people. We were afraid that after the flood, there will be a lot of people who will be suffering from leptospirosis. So we went around distributing that. And the city actually, in fact, even until this time, has a severe shortage of doxycycline and even tetanus toxoid. So we had to procure them immediately in other areas. And we were happy to be able to share this to the Red Cross and the city. And in fact, all the tetanus toxoid and the doxycycline used by the city and Red Cross came from us. So during one of our relief operations, I saw these kids. They were following me. So I thought I didn't know what they want. I thought they were looking for candies and asking for things. No, but actually they were intrigued by the logo in my shirt. So they were asking me, what is it all about? Because it's very, maybe they found it so unusual because of the Chinese character. So I took the opportunity to talk to them about Tzu Chi Foundation. So I guess they were satisfied because after that they said they want a photo. And here, when we were distributing it, we saw a baby that was left alone because the mother went to get the relief goods. So when I saw that, well, I babysat the baby until the mother came back. And the same thing also for the other babies that the other volunteers babysat also. So here we are in one of the areas that we distributed to avoid chaos. So we normally interview them and distribute cards even before we let them know that we're going there to distribute relief goods. So when we go there, we talk to them, assess the need, what they actually need, and distribute these cards. So they actually don't know what we're going to give. But when we come back, there's already cards, so it's easy to control. Whoever has the cards will be able to receive the relief goods. We do this so as there will be no stampede, because at least they know that if they have the card, everybody will be served. Of course, I want to show you my son. This was many years ago. My son is special because it took us a while before we're able to have a son. It took my wife and I almost 10 years. And one of the first thing I asked Master also was for her to pray for us to have a son. And I still remember what Master told me. He said, don't worry, Anton, you will have a son in God's perfect timing. But for the meantime, you treat every children as your son or daughter. So when he was born, of course, incidentally, my son was born on the birthday of Master. So you can see the affinity there. So when he was old enough to join us, we make sure that we bring him everywhere. So here it is when we were visiting our Jaipur recipient. So on the far right was my wife. And I brought my son also. I asked him to, every time we have a surgical mission, I asked him to donate his old toys. And the first time he had a difficulty parting with his toys when he was younger. But we told him, but if he doesn't give them out, there's no space in his cabinet and we won't be able to buy him new toys. But over time, it's already automatic. He would always prepare, and it was really funny to see him distributing his toys, because we always see him having very hesitant in giving out his toys. Here he's preparing the surgical table by cleaning the head guard. Here he's helping us sterilize the operating room and distributing. I believe these are our tokens for our patient. So, yeah.
Brother Anton, very, very heartwarming and very touching sharing. We are most touched by brothers sharing. Truly, because of the time, okay, maybe we like to invite brother to share again another session. This is because we can, the sharing is truly very fantastic. Apology for the not enough time given.
Actually, I'm on my last slides. That's
last
it.
slide. Okay,
so thank you. So I was on my last 3 slides. So thank you very much, and for this opportunity. And we hope that we'll continue to walk with Master, because if we walk with Master, I'm sure we will not go astray. So thank you very much again.
Wow, fantastic, Brother Anton, for benefiting us and inspiring all of us this early morning with this very heartwarming sharing. Okay, without much ado, let us, we are humble, most humble and honored to have with us Master Yuan. Okay, maybe we let us invite Master Yuan to provide some insights, and with Master Yuan's sharing on impermanence, appreciate the value of life. Over to Master Yuan. 感恩师父。
亲爱的上人 and our brother and sister online. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. So I hope everyone are healthy, and also today my topic will be the impermanence, appreciate the value of life. Because we know that we may face impermanence daily sometimes, and also how are we going to face it and how are we going to overcome it. So first of all, just reflect on what are the things and take a look with the our life right now. So have we planned anything that benefits humanity today or tomorrow? And then else, what do we hope for in the future? Of course, we know that the past is in memory. The future is hope. So what is your hope for the future? So we may think about it daily so that we can improve ourselves. So there's one time when Buddha gathered a lot of disciples, and Buddha was asking his disciple about how much time they think remain in their life. And the first disciples were saying that, I think I have 1 day left. And then because Buddha has been saying that life is impermanent, so these disciples thinking he still have life is in between days, and he still have 1 day to live on. So after listening to it, and then the Buddha was saying, you don't know about the life truth yet. So the second disciple thinks that the Buddha sees 1 day as still being too long for a period. So he says, Buddha, I think life is only between meals. I should assess my life at the span of 1 meal. It means the period of one finish out a meal, then he might not have the second meal again. Oh, and I might have no chance to eat lunch even. So this between meals period of time is what the second disciple uses to assess his life. But the Buddha shakes his head and says, you still don't know about life truth. Then the third disciple was saying that after witnessing these two previous answer, he was saying that life is only between breath. So the Buddha say, yes, that is right. Life is only between breath. So I think everyone should agree with me, because it takes a second to inhale and the next to exhale. So we must know that our life is between breaths. So long as we can breathe, we are still alive. But the moment we can't draw the next breath, then that is the end of our life. So everyone must take good care of our breathing. So that's why sometimes when we like to do the breathing meditation as well, right? To look at our breath, so we know that we are still alive. But what about the value of life? We can breathe well now, so what should we do next in our life? The Buddha taught us what is the purpose. What is the purpose of coming to the human world? That is to go among the crowd to give of ourselves. And in this life, with time, space, and affinity between people, we must prioritize humanity. As we have a healthy body and time, we must make use of them to serve humanity. So this is the teaching also from our Shangren. But anyway, when we face the impermanent, how are we going to face it? What are we going to do on that? And over here, I would like to share with you few true stories that happened this year. First one is Sister Nian Yu. She is only 26 years old. And last year, somewhere in September, she was diagnosed with a breast cancer. And when come to December, he start to do the treatment, and she will suffer from ascetic and have a poor appetite. So her mother was the one who take care of her for a long time. And also, as a Chichi volunteer, just like the family members, are also constantly preparing liquid fuel for Nian Yu. So of course, this is the affinity where I have a chance to do the video conference with her and care with her before she completed her life, right? So, and also now I still keep in touch with Sister Yukme. Oh, so of course, having losing this child, she is very upset as well. But anyway, I believe she's now also doing a lot of volunteering job. And the second one is this brother Lo, Lo Zui Long Zi Xiong. So it's somewhere in September, the 8th of September. After she returned home from the exercising, he fainted and also passed away shortly. Of course, left over the 3 kids, and now I believe they are all studying in the international school, and we hope that they can grow even better from now onwards. And the third one is the brother Fu. As you all know that in year 2001, he went for an angiogram scan, which detected the blockage. So he has the 4 blockage. So he was saying that we must be prepared for any eventuality in life. Whatever we need to do, we better get it done fast. So of course, I know him through Sister P Shi, because we have some how to say, we have talked a lot with his wife as well. Then the fourth one is this brother Ji Mingyan, 朱明仁师兄, and he was the first generation Tzu Chi volunteer in Singapore. So I know him, of course, even a longer time because I was a Singapore volunteer as well. So on the nearly about 400 people was attended his memory ceremony to remember him. And on that ceremony, there's one, the youth was telling us that he has been invited to be the great master boatman in the Jingzhang Yanyi. And at first, he refused to do it because of he is an Englishman, as always he told people. He do not know how to read the Chinese character, but yet they have to prepare the Hanyu Pinyin and also the Wawa Tu for him. And also telling him that if, let's say, he forgot anything during the Jingzhang Yanyi, the only action he has to remember is the action that you can see from the picture. So that's why he promised them, and then also, of course, completed the Jingzhang Yanyi as well. So this is how he comfort the youth and also let the youth feel stable. And also this is the way he guided the youth as well. And for the fifth one will be the brother Han Huang. He was passed away somewhere in 18th of June this year, for the US time. But of course, why I'm sharing him is because of only by this early this month, his mother, brother, and also his wife was coming to Tzu Chi University because the essence of him was putting in the Tzu Chi 大舍场. So over here, I would like to share one of his video. That is the 3 reminder from Brother Han.
下来啊，我发现我们真的要加油努力的地方，好不好？第一个，一师一智，一师一智。上人告诉我们的是佛心师智，各位，对于我们弟子而言，那就是一师一智，不要脚踏2条船。 更不要脚踏好几条船呐，那个会沉下去，好不好？可以吗？慈诚委员，各位菩萨，我们不是一般的志工，我们有这个责任要经营上人给我们的这个道场。我们本会的菩萨们讲得非常的清楚，我们不是只是来做善事，来用这个道场的资源，然后到处去做善事，我们有这个责任要来。 人间菩萨招生，要募心募款，要不然谁来护持这个平台呢？谁来护持这个道场呢？所以各位菩萨们，各位慈诚委员，这是我们的责任，好不好？第二个，请大家谨守口业。各位，你有没有觉得慈济里面好像大家都谣言满天飞啊？啊，有人点得很厉害，有人摇头啊。各位，谨守口业。 这个很重要，口业很容易造。刚刚37道品有比啊，最易造业因是什么？对，口。太多这些，各位，如果您有任何不了解的地方，请你去问你的组队长，请你去问你的干部，问季宏师兄，问我，没有问题的。不要传来传去，那些都不是事实，那些只是影响大家的道心跟道气。所以，请大家。 谨守口业，可以吗？可以。好，第3个，我要请大家与时并进。这个时分2个时，第一个时是上人的时间， 各位，上人现在老人家年纪大了，我们真的要跟上上人的脚步。伯谦讲过什么？师太现在没有时间回头看我们呐，是不是？所以我们要自己跟上这个脚步，可以吗？各位师兄师姐，要精进文法。请问你早上有熏法香的，请举手。金色师父千万不要回头看啊！拜托，我们一定要抓住上人的时间，与时并进。第二个时是时代，我们也要与时并进。各位，这个时代进步快不快？以前没有 iPhone， 现在有 iPhone， 整个时代全变了，是不是？我举一个最简单的例子，过去10年前，你一定听过一家公司叫做柯达，对不对？柯达软片有谁比它更好？没有了吧？你现在还听过柯达这个公司吗？发生什么事？它被淘汰了。它不只是倒，它是被这个时代淘汰，因为它没有跟上这个数据化的时代，它没有跟上这个时代的科技，这么大一家公司就被淘汰了。各位，这是我们要谨记在心，千万不要忘记与时并进。我们要自我学习啊，好不好？不要再说啊，我什么英文不会怎么样哈。各位，上人真的是让我很佩服啊，终身学习。你看老人家从台语、国语到英语，有一次我回去，上人就问我说：“啊，你的 PowerPoint 的？”他有一次更可爱了，那时候是圣诞节，上人说：“哦，过3天就是 Christmas 的，请问你们有什么计划？”大家一听到这么标准的英文吓一跳，然后待在那边不知道怎么回答。上人说：“哎，难道是我发音不标准吗？怎么你们都没反应啊？”各位，我们要学习老人家的精神，与时并进，好不好？
So just now, as Yuan see that there's the 3 reminder from the brother Han. There's one master, one mind. Everyone must guard their mouth and also keep out with the times in the modern era. That's what also Master always, or Sangren always tell us that now because of the modern era, that's why we can have how should I say, although we are a long distance from each other, but yet we can still communicate through video conference as well. So just now, as you can see, these are the people has already passed away. Definitely we feel sorrow and sad. But on the other hand, we must also wish them not to suffer too much. And then each of them, they have already appreciate their life and contribute without asking anything, right? So we hope that, and we know that they are already coming back as the Chiji little Bodhisattva, okay? And recently in the daily Shinpa Xiang, I believe just now also you all have shared as well. That is about Ananda. Oh, talking about Ananda, I have something with which I would like to share with you from my personal experience. When first I heard about Sangren was saying that Orang, then I was thinking, what is Orang? I thought this is the black, you know, like the Africa, they are all in black skin. So what does it do with the Dharma sharing by Sangren? Then later said, I know he is Ananda. Oh, and of course, Tsuchi also have developed quite some time already from in Africa as well. So Ananda was the one who upheld the Dharma treasury. And we are very fortunate that Ananda was at the Buddha's side. Firstly, because he was the Buddha attendant. And secondly, because he observed everything that the Buddha taught to the assembly. And of course, drop by drop, every word and every phrase entered Ananda's ear and was trained deep inside his consciousness. And he was Buddha's younger cousin. So he was very close to the Buddha. He understood the Buddha's living habit. So he became the Buddha attendant. And the important thing is he observed every aspect of the Buddha's daily living. How he taught the Dharma according to capabilities, and how he interacted with and guided people. So this is something that what should we learn from, right? So we have to think, how mindful are we when observing things? This is what also I try to learn. So sometimes we are at beside Sangren, and maybe when she was sharing some Dharma with people, and also when she tried to console some of the people who have obstacle or who have any problem. So we are also looking at it and think of how Sangren will do this. So this is very important as well. So this is what we should learn. And of course, another was the one who upheld the Dharma treasury. And as we can see, we must clearly understand that a treasury is a place where things are stored. A treasury holds many valuable things. Is it a storehouse or a treasure trove? Or perhaps it's a great mountain within which there are many precious stones as well as many valuable matter. Though these are invisible from the surface, contained within are all kinds of precious treasure, and each and every one of us intrinsically has the Tathagata Buddha's nature of true suchness. So I believe Sangren always reminding us this. Each and every one of us intrinsically has the Tathagata's Dharma nature of true suchness. But whether we believe it or not, but everyone have it. So it's better that we believe it. Just like we have this pill inside our body, but we do not know. The 宝珠在我们的身上，我们不知道。But in fact, we have it within all of us. So just because every one of us have a different capabilities, each person has developed habitual tendency from dust ink kappas, right? Those who have engaged in spiritual practice feel joy as soon as they hear the Dharma. It matches their capabilities. So upon taking it in and understanding it, they form great aspirations and make great vows. So this happens for people with great capabilities. But some of the people's capabilities are more limited. So after joyfully listen to the Dharma, they understand life is full of suffering. I should earnestly reflect on what my past mistake and quickly repent and put effort in my spiritual practice. So people like this have average capabilities. For those of limited capabilities, after listening, then they will say, I understand that the world truly has much suffering. But when interacting with people, we form causes and conditions, effects and retributions. So if I'm not careful, I will quickly create karma. So I must quickly distance myself from people. I should just seek my own awakening. Cultivating myself is good enough. So these are the people of limited capabilities, right? So whether people have limited capabilities, average capabilities, or great capabilities, the Buddha never abandons sentient beings. He continuously keeps returning to transform and deliver sentient beings until their cause and condition have matured and they attain Buddhahood until they have the condition to receive prediction and in the future attain Buddhahood. So this is how Buddha treat everyone, right? So for us as a disciple of Sangren and for the Buddha as well, so we should also learn this. So never abandon sentient being, right? So we should also continuously accompany them and also help them to develop, to understand their own capabilities as well. So, of course, like over here, you can see that every lifetime, Ananda and enable him to cultivate causes and attain fruits. So, of course, in our own spiritual practice, it is not enough for us alone to understand. We must also help everyone to understand. From great aspirations and make great vows to share the Dharma among people. And moreover, they are suffering sentient beings. We need to encourage everyone to do good deeds and to listen to the Dharma together with us. This is, of course, the start of forming great aspiration. The Dharma is not for us to enjoy by ourselves. Blessings are not to create by us alone. We need everyone to practice giving, right? So we need everyone to practice giving. This is the cultivating ourselves and benefiting others. So thus, Ananda enable us to cultivate causes. And when we engage in spiritual practice, we should encourage everyone to practice with us. So this cause is a seed, and the seeds of the Buddha Dharma must be taken to heart, one by one. In this way, we attain the fruits. In the future, we can likewise attain Buddhahood as well. So as long as we now accept this cause, earnestly cultivate the field of our own minds, and help others to cultivate causes and conditions. And in this way, we respond to extraordinary causes and conditions. As we engage in spiritual practice, we should ask others to practice with us. In this way, widely transforming people, right? So this is the very important thing. That's why I believe that when you listen or when you're participating in the Xun Fa Xiang, you will always listen that Dharma, Sangren was always tell everyone in this. So that's why we have to continuously cultivate the good seeds. So in order to talk about the seeds, so look at these three pictures. The first picture is the seed. As you can see, the seeds normally are very small or very tiny, right? But when there's the water, sun, the ground, all this, it will grow. When it grows, from time to time, it will grow bigger and bigger, right? So in the middle is one of the Tzu Chi University students. She is very mindful. At that moment, she was doing the weeding because of a lot of weeds over the Taiyuan. So finally, she finished it and then she take out the roots. This root has 1.2 meters long. So as we can see that cultivate causes and attain fruits, we have to plant good seed and let the roots deepen in the ground. Then we can stand firm. So we will not be moved around when obstacles come to us, right? And also safeguarding and upholding right Dharma is so important. The Dharma abiding in the world is like the principles abiding in our hearts. If we lack the principles in life, this world will be in chaos. So thus, the Buddha Dharma has to abide in the world. If the Buddha Dharma abides in the world, it can preserve the principles of the world and guide everyone's direction in life. With the proper direction and order to things in our society, people can live harmoniously and peacefully with each other. And I believe that all of you right now who was attending, listen to my sharing, we have this responsibility to pass down the right Dharma. So every one of you had done a very great job where you have trained yourself in the translation, especially the live translation. So maybe this is very difficult initially, but finally, I feel that you have already made it happen, right? You have already started from somewhere. And then I hope that you can continuously doing that, because we have different people who know different language, so they might need to have this translation so that can help them to understand. So over here, I have prepared one video that's from a student from Indonesia. So you can now you can listen to the bahasa Indonesia, and she calls San San. Now let's watch this.
Master kasih ini pinter, kita baik. 我是珊珊，珊珊是我，我爱 Master，Master 爱我，感恩阿弥陀佛。看到了在印尼那样小小的菩萨，他袂晓听我的话啊幼稚园又是呢看不懂那个字幕啊那但是呢他竟然呢会都是呢那样看得大爱妈妈哪里发脾气都赶快开大爱，这实在是真可爱呀！经济安尼压到遐尼远去
亲爱的师公上人、金师师父和师姑师伯，大家好，我是奇迹学校的学生李佑珊珊珊，我今年15岁了。自从3年前的疫情爆发开始，每个早上，我的妈妈李佳明、哥哥李启峰和我一起听熏法香。有一天，我被邀请阅读熏法香语会，当初我感觉很不熟悉，后来慢慢就熟悉了。不久之后，我就邀请了16个朋友一起参与阅读熏法香语会。我和我的朋友们觉得很有福报，也感到非常高兴，因为透过阅读熏法香语会，让我们的中文更有进步。我真的感到很幸运和快乐，感恩朋友们。
I believe every one of you can understand what she said, right? So since 5 years old, she has already started to listen to Zhenjian Puti. Of course, just now Sangren also said that maybe he do not understand as well, but he keep on listen to it. So now she has already 15 years old, and she has started to listen to this 金石成语 since 12 years old. So just now she was sharing that she couldn't understand what Shangren Salmon, because Shangren speak Taiwanese language, right? So but after attending the Dharma permission sessions, she could understand Taiwanese language, and she even invited 16 people to her Dharma study group. And so in fact, let's look at it, because of she has already invited these 16 people, and then she was telling that just like the 16 princess learning Dharma from an elder in the chapter of Phantom City. So if you think about it, isn't this happening now in this modern era? So as a kid, like the 15 years old, she already invited 16 people. So we hope that this group of the students will become bigger and bigger one as well. So as always, Master Sangren telling us that carrying the vegetables basket, and now we look at bearing the rice basket, right? So 提天下的太郎和挑天下的米咯 So Sangren hopes for us to bear the responsibility to care for all suffering in the world. And Master also keep urging us to emulate the spirit of an ant or firefly. An ant can scale through mouse marrow. So the glow from a firefly can eye up the darkness as well. So with groups of ants or group of fireflies coming together, it will bring even greater strength. So that's why we know about it, and we should also practice it as well and put it in our action. So on the other day, Sangren also sharing us the 3 prayer of the heart. So I seek not for a healthy body, but for a clear mind. I seek not for everything to go my way, but for perseverance and courage. I seek not for less responsibility, but only for more strength. This is also what I have remind myself daily. So every day, whenever I do the 早课, so the morning chanting, so I always keep reflect on these 3 verses as well. So in fact, sometimes we may feel that we have some problem with our body, right? So maybe headache, or maybe we have suffered from some certain sickness. But the important thing is to have a clear mind. Look at Sangren. She also not in a very healthy stage, because since previously she has the heart problem. That's why she cannot even take the airplane to anywhere. But she is very mindful, and she has a very clear and wisdom mind as well. And then for the second one, seek not for everything to go my way. We know that in this such a big organization, so sometimes we may face problem when we was dealing with people or with discussing certain things with people. But we must have the perseverance and also the courage to face it. And the third one, seek not for less responsibility, but only for more strength. So I believe that not even in the Hawaii, the person who was not in Taiwan but in the other state or in the other country. So everyone, from time to time, they will bear more responsibility. So we couldn't seek for less responsibility, but only for more strength. So this is very important, that I wish to everyone can really deeply understand these 3 prayers of the heart. So grain of rice fill out a basket, droplets of water form a river. So look at this, this word, 一个人, 一横, and 一个口. So everyone know this word is he. In Mandarin it's called he. And then in English it's called unity. So I still remember previously I had heard the wayfarers from Malaysia. They were singing a song that is, in unity we stand, in harmony we strive. As long as I can't remember the lyrics already, but I like this song very much. And then if every one of you still have this song, you can also send to me. Okay, then I look at the Canada in the Jingxi Hall of East Canada. This is the Jingxi Hall of East Canada. And then the roof is a zhen. And then 进食堂, these 3 words is just like one 一横, and the door is just like a 口. So it's also the word he, right? So I did how should I say, just share with them that why not all of you can make a circle of the Jingxi Hall and see how many of you can complete this one circle, right? Then they really make it, because last month in 10th of October, it was their 30th anniversary. So they really put on it, and then they put out hand in hand, and then make a circle in this Jingxi Hall. And then look at them. In fact, they stress very hard because 81% is not really enough to make a circle, but they try to make it happen as well. So then from this action, they know that they should have more people to do this. They should encourage more bodhisattva as well. And this is the historical moment of Jing, how should I say, of the East Canada. Okay, now over here, I wish to share with you these 4 words. The 4 words in terms of pronunciation is actually the same, but in fact, they in terms of how should I say, the meaning are different. So long as we awaken to our innate nature, we will be able to resonate with Buddha's mind and not bear to see people suffering, right? So over here, these 4 Jing is called Jing. So the first one, so we hope to have a pure and untainted heart. That is purity. This Jing is purity with the 3 water at the side, right? The purity. That is the Buddha's nature. And then when we awaken to that state, on the second Jing, we can calmly contemplate, right? This is the still thoughts, the Jing for the still thoughts, right? So the clarity of our mind. And the third one, the mirror, can emulate wider and further. And then when in face with various external conditions or challenges, we can remain unwaved and not affected, right? So this is the 4th Jing, that is what we call external condition. So although they have the same pronunciation, but they have different meaning as well. So as we all know that the world is filled with suffering. Wherever there are suffering beings, we must reach out to them in time with love. So love is the greatest power. It can guide sentient beings onto the right path. So no matter where we were, we should spread the seeds of love. Recruit more bodhisattva to join the rank of great love. And at last, I would like to share is we hope that all can nurture wisdom as clear as water to nourish all patches fields and sow good seeds on it. So definitely we will gain abundant harvests. And of course, we should work in unity on bodhisattva path to nourish all sentient beings with love, cultivating blessing and nurture wisdom in parallel. So at last, I would like to show you this picture. This is from Toronto in Canada. So now it's already snowing. That's why they send this photo for me. So thank you very much, and hope everyone will really diligently study in this bodhisattva path, walking in this bodhisattva path. 感恩，感恩。
感恩 so much, Yuan 师父 for the all the great wisdom. Yeah, truly, 感恩师父 for the wishing as well. Yeah, 祈愿 may all of us be like the picture, the root very long, and hope that we can bring the unity, and we can bring in more and more seeds to form this the great vast body forest. 感恩 Master De Yuan, and also the reminders on the 3 prayers as well as the sharing on impermanence. Trust everyone here still being very saddened over the passing of recently Brother Fu. Of course, we also heard about this Sister Nian Yu, Brother Qi Mingyan, and Brother Han Huang. Until today, I think we also still feel the loss, but we trust all these great bodhisattvas will return to help masters to continue paving and moving forward on this path. And Master De Yuan, maybe we seize the chance to take the pictures. At the same time, there are also groups at the YouTube site. But next time, hopefully, if you all can join us in Zoom, then we can take this picture. Okay, if everyone is okay, we can join Master De Yuan to take picture. Also, most grateful to our brother Anton, who who give us wonderful insights. We understand Brother Anton still have a lot of wonderful stories, so we have extended invite to him. Hopefully he can come to share with us another time on these great stories from Philippines, particularly Zamboanga. How can his sister Lily will help to take picture. Sorry, because I'm at the Pedas. Today is election day, that's why the line is not very stable. You have managed to take the picture already, okay, okay, you can hear the chicken. Yeah, this is really village area. 好，感恩德源师傅，
感恩师傅，
感恩师傅。
We hope to hear from Master again. Wow, very touching. All these
looking forward to go back to Hualien soon.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Coming to Hualien soon. So hope to see you all in Hualien.
Yeah, miss Hualien's food. So food always prepare very nice food for us to eat. Always
Okay.
Okay. And let us pay homage to Buddha and Master as we walk on the Bodhisattva path. Okay, 3 bows. We invite Master Teng Yuan to guide us in paying homage. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. And a bow to our beloved, most respected Teng Yuan Sư Phụ for guiding us today. 感恩德源师傅，
感恩互相问讯，感恩，
感恩
感恩大家，感